Hello and welcome to IAMC Radio and Podcast. Today is February 10th, 2025, and we're going to explore the top news headlines. Get ready for global security concerns, some economic developments, and even some legal drama.
Let's start with a story that highlights the security challenges in the Lake Chad region. A village in northern Cameroon was attacked by Boko Haram insurgents late Sunday night. This attack resulted in the tragic loss of 4 lives and the destruction of homes and food stores. However, amidst the devastation, there's a glimmer of resilience. The villagers fought back, managing to kill one of the attackers before the insurgents retreated.
This incident really underscores the difficult fight against Boko Haram. That continues to plague the region. 4 countries, Cameroon, Nigeria, Chad, and Niger, are grappling with this insurgency.
Shifting our focus to Nigeria, there's a major development on the economic front. The Dangote oil refinery in Lagos, a massive facility with a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, is about to achieve full operation.
Reaching full operation within the next 30 days is a significant milestone. However, it's worth noting that the refinery has faced hurdles in securing a consistent supply of crude oil locally, leading to reliance on imports. It makes you wonder how this might impact their future plans. Interestingly, Dangote has hinted at ambitious expansion plans, stating that they're exploring all markets right now. It'll be fascinating to see how this energy giant navigates these challenges and shapes the future of the oil industry.
Now, let's turn our attention to a legal case involving a prominent Nigerian businessman, Abdulrahman Bashar. He was recently sentenced to a year in prison in Dubai for a financial crime connected to CI Energy Company.
This isn't his first encounter with the legal system. He was also imprisoned by a UK court in 2020. This time, Bashar was convicted of issuing 7 checks, totaling a staggering 126.45 million dirhams from an Emirates Islamic bank account, but with a signature that didn't match. The Dubai court's ruling emphasized the gravity of issuing a check without sufficient funds, stating that the crime is committed simply by giving the check to the beneficiary, while knowing there's no money to cover it.
Moving on to a story that has ignited considerable controversy, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, has leveled serious accusations against FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They allege that FEMA misused $59 million of taxpayer money, intended for American disaster relief, to accommodate illegal immigrants in luxury hotels in New York City.
Musk himself didn't hold back, tweeting that allocating these funds violated the law and exhibited blatant insubordination to the president's executive order. He demanded the immediate return of the funds. This situation raises serious questions about FEMA's accountability, especially considering that a recent audit revealed potential mismanagement of billions of dollars in COVID-19 funding.
Now, let's delve into a case of cybercrime that transcends international borders. The Indian cyber police apprehended a Nigerian man for alleged fraud, involving a substantial sum of money, 11.73 lakh, equivalent to roughly $20,020,800.
This case involved the suspect allegedly hacking into the email of a pharmaceutical company and diverting a payment to a fraudulent account. His arrest near an ATM and subsequent confession highlight the increasing sophistication and global reach of cybercriminals. It's a stark reminder that cybersecurity is a pressing concern for individuals and businesses worldwide.
Next, we have news about Saudi Arabia implementing new visa restrictions that affect travelers from 14 countries, including Nigeria. These restrictions limit travelers to single-entry visas valid for only 30 days, with no extensions permitted. This impacts tourists, business travelers, and those visiting family in the kingdom.
Saudi authorities explained that these changes aim to curb the misuse of multiple entry visas, which had led to issues with individuals overstaying their welcome, or participating in a Hajj pilgrimage without proper authorization. These new regulations come after a tragic incident during the 2024 Hajj, where overcrowding and extreme heat resulted in the loss of over 1,200 lives. Authorities believe unregistered pilgrims contributed to the overcrowding, making the situation even more dire. It's clear that these visa restrictions, while currently considered temporary, reflect a serious effort by Saudi Arabia to address these challenges and ensure the safety and security of both pilgrims and visitors.
Our next story focuses on a Nigerian man named Obasui Bright, who is alleging grave human rights violations stemming from his deportation from Germany. Bright claims that despite having a medical condition that should have precluded him from traveling, he was subjected to torture and forced deportation.
According to Bright, German police stormed his residence in Munich and transported him to an undisclosed location before putting him on a flight to Nigeria. He alleges that during the flight, he was shackled, and iron was pressed against his neck, and he was suffocated.
Upon arrival in Lagos, Bright claims he was denied medical treatment and even abandoned at the airport with an IV drip still attached to his arm. His accusations of complicity against both German police and Nigerian immigration officials demand a thorough and impartial investigation to uncover the truth and ensure justice is served.
Finally, let's shift our attention to the political landscape in the UK, where Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch is facing an uphill battle to gain public confidence.
Recent polls reveal that only 1 in 7 voters see her as a potential prime minister within her own party. Less than half of those who voted Conservative in 2024 view her as a credible future leader.
Despite this lack of public support, Badenoch retains strong backing within the Conservative Party itself. However, the upcoming general election presents a significant challenge, with the Conservatives facing a potential alliance between the Labour Party and Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage.
This potential alliance could dramatically reshape the political landscape in the UK, leaving the Conservatives in a precarious position as they fight to retain power. It will be fascinating to observe how this dynamic unfolds and how voters respond to this potential shift in the political balance.
As we've explored these headlines, it strikes me how seemingly unrelated events can reveal interconnected threads running through our world.
You're absolutely right. It's like piecing together a global puzzle where events in one corner of the world ripple outward, impacting situations far beyond their immediate borders. Take, for instance, the Boko Haram attack in Cameroon and the visa restrictions in Saudi Arabia. Both touch on the theme of security, albeit on vastly different scales.
And the stories about the Dangote refinery and Elon Musk's accusations against FEMA both delve into economic issues, highlighting the intricate dance between resource management, investment, and potential mismanagement.
Precisely. And the cases of Abdurrahman Bashar and the Nigerian man apprehended for cybercrime in India raise crucial questions about accountability, justice, and the global fight against financial crime. These seemingly isolated incidents weave a larger tapestry of challenges facing the world today.
It's fascinating how these events, when viewed together, reveal larger trends and complexities that might otherwise go unnoticed.
Exactly. It underscores the interconnected nature of our global society. What happens in one part of the world inevitably impacts others. It's a reminder that we're all part of a larger story unfolding on a global stage.
The story of Obasui Bright, the Nigerian man alleging torture and forced deportation from Germany, particularly resonated with me. It raises serious concerns about the protection of human rights and the treatment of vulnerable individuals.
His experience is a stark reminder that even in nations with robust human rights records, instances of injustice and abuse can occur. It also highlights the complexities of international law and the challenges of holding perpetrators accountable when multiple countries are involved.
Turning our attention to the UK, the political drama surrounding Kemi Badenoch's struggle to garner public confidence as Conservative leader underscores the dynamic and often unpredictable nature of politics.
Her situation illustrates the fragility of public trust and the challenges of maintaining support, both within a political party and among the broader electorate.
The potential alliance between Labour and Reform UK adds another layer of complexity to this already intriguing political landscape. It'll be fascinating to witness how this potential shift in alliances influences voter sentiment and reshapes the political chessboard in the lead-up to the general election.
What these diverse stories highlight is the importance of staying informed and critically analyzing the news we consume. We live in an era of information overload, but it's crucial to sift through the noise and identify the information that truly matters.
It's about connecting the dots, recognizing patterns, and understanding how seemingly disparate events intertwine to shape the world we live in.
That's where the real learning happens, when we move beyond simply absorbing information and start to question, analyze, and draw connections between the seemingly disparate events.
So as we wrap up our exploration of today's top news headlines for February 10th, 2025, we encourage you, our listeners, to reflect on these stories and consider their broader implications.
What resonates with you? What questions do these stories spark in your mind? And most importantly, how can you leverage this knowledge to make a difference in your own community and beyond?
Remember, staying informed is not merely a passive act of consuming information. It's an active engagement with the world around us.
It's about seeking truth, questioning assumptions, and using our voices to promote justice and positive change.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from security threats and economic triumphs to stories that challenge our understanding of justice and accountability.
It's a lot to take in, but it's through this process of exploring and engaging with the news that we become more informed and empowered citizens of the world.
And as we've seen today, the news cycle is relentless, constantly evolving and demanding our attention. But it's in those quiet moments of reflection when we step back and connect the dots that we truly begin to grasp the complexities of our interconnected world.
That's where the real learning happens, when we move beyond simply absorbing information and start to question, analyze, and draw connections between seemingly disparate events.
So as you go about your day, we encourage you to carry these stories with you.
Let them spark conversations, challenge your assumptions, and inspire you to delve deeper into the issues that matter most to you.
Because ultimately, it's through these individual journeys of exploration and engagement that we collectively contribute to a more informed, just, and compassionate world.
Thank you for listening to today's top news headlines on IAMC Radio and podcast.